Hey everybody, JCB here at the Awesomist, and you're watching the Awesomist YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing a video doorbell. I know what you're thinking. Oh, the Awesomist got a Ring or a Nest doorbell? Hell no. Get that crap out of here. Today I'm reviewing the Nooie Cam doorbell. The folks at Nooie reached out to me and asked if I'd like to review their video doorbell, and I jumped at the chance because I get a lot of deliveries, but my doorbell, like my traditional doorbell, is way too quiet. In fact, somebody just rang it and you didn't hear it. I guarantee you, even though the doorbell chime is right outside of my office door, you did not hear it. You can go back, you can rewind it as many times as you want. I had somebody press the doorbell right when they heard me say the word deliveries. If you go back, unless you got the ears of a bat, you will not hear that doorbell. And that's a huge problem. Anyway, unlike Nest and Ring, which charge monthly fees for video storage, the Nooie Cam doorbell can transmit videos to an SD card for local storage. Though there is a cloud service offered as well if you're okay with that sort of arrangement. Boom, no monthly fees. As always, I want to make it clear this video is not sponsored. I even actually reached out to the people at Nooie and said, hey, is there anything interesting you'd like me to tell my subscribers about? Like, is there a cool backstory to the company or anything special you want me to mention or anything, just to see if there was? And they told me not to worry about any of that. That they didn't want to color my review. They wanted an honest, authentic review from me. And so they didn't even want to say anything that might like sway me one way or the other. That's integrity. I like that. So let's jump right in and start unboxing this thing. So upon opening it up, the first thing we see here are some instructions. These actually came in handy, but the installation wasn't super difficult, so I didn't find myself going through these pages very much. Next, we have this sticker that you put on the wall before you mount it, followed by this little card that explains the 15-degree mount. This is the standard flat mount that points forward, and this is the 15-degree mount that points off to an angle a little bit. You'll notice one side's thicker than the other. I thought I would like this, but I ended up using the flat one. Next, we got some stickers with some cute little Nooie characters, and a card that says, "Together we make awesomeness happen." Had to share that. Inside this box, we have the battery, which is actually kind of hefty. Like, it feels really good in the hand. It's got some weight to it. This little envelope is full of screws, both wood and cement. This is a standard Ethernet cable, which I'll get to in a moment. And this is a USB 3 charger. Next up, we have the doorbell itself. And I gotta say, this thing's a little bigger than I was expecting, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm sure there's a lot of technology packed in there. One of the reasons for the size is that it's got a big opening on the back for the giant battery that I just showed you, which has a very long lifespan. Now, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is get that battery charging. The battery charges via an included USB-C plug, and it took right about 8 hours to fully charge. Now, that seems like a long time, but that one charge has lasted several weeks. I've been using this doorbell since like the beginning of February, I wanna say, and it's still working on just that one charge. Now, of course, once you get it charged, you're gonna wanna set it up using an app, which is a really straightforward process, and the app is available in both the Google and Apple app stores. So the Nooie Chime base is where the SD card actually goes, right there on the side, and it also has an Ethernet port in the bottom, so that if you're close enough to your router, you can actually connect it with a wire, which does give you a little bit better reception as far as transmission from the actual doorbell to the base station for recording purposes. This was important in my house because my wireless router is actually on the opposite side of the house from the doorbell. So having this thing plugged in directly to the router actually did help quite a bit in connection stability. But your house may be different. Maybe your Wi-Fi router is a little more centrally located and you won't have to use the wire. It's nice that it's there. It's nice that it's an option. Once the battery is fully charged, just open up the app, hit add new, then they'll want you to plug in the Chime base station to your wall. I started out with it in my office just as a test, but I did eventually move it around to different outlets to see where it got the best signal. They'll have you approve some app permissions, and then you just gotta hook it to your home Wi-Fi so that everything can talk to each other. After you've connected to your home Wi-Fi, the app will ask you to connect to the Nooie Wi-Fi, which will show up on your list. I recommend waiting until your phone tells you that this Wi-Fi has no internet access and that it's okay to proceed, otherwise you might get disconnected. That was the one problem I ran into, and I chalk it up to my phone's issue. Anyway, they need to just keep your Nooie doorbell near the Chime base while it syncs, and pretty soon you'll be all set. After the doorbell is synced with the Chime base and you're sure that everything's working, that's when you go to actually install it. This is where my doorbell is. This is the path I would like to be able to watch. First step is to decide where you want to put it, and then stick that little sticker that was in the box right in the exact spot you want it. I took my time, made slight adjustments to make sure it was exactly where I wanted it to be, and that it was absolutely as straight as I could possibly get it. Then you just stick it on there nice and snug, and drill some holes through the pre-cut holes in the sticker. Here, I actually started doing the bottom hole, and the sticker came off, but by that point, I was already through the wall, so it didn't really matter. Next, I tapped the little plastic drywall hanger plastic thing. I'm not sure what they're called. I tapped them in lightly with the hammer, one on the top, one on the bottom. And then I decided to use the 15-degree mount, and I screwed the top screw right into that little plastic thing, and the bottom screw into its little plastic thing. And then I just made a couple of small adjustments to make sure it was as straight as possible. After that, you just slide the actual doorbell onto its mount, and it's good to go. The whole process took right about 15 minutes, and that's including me trying to find my drill. So my goal is to actually see deliveries as they're arriving. One, because obviously if you have a video doorbell, people are slightly less likely to steal your packages off your porch when you can actually identify them with video footage. But I don't really have that problem in my town. What I really have a problem with is that during Christmas time, when there's so many more deliveries happening, companies like UPS hire these like holiday delivery drivers that are only like part-time, and they only work for that one season, and they don't really know the neighborhood. And so what often happens is my packages end up being delivered to other people's houses entirely. Sometimes it's my neighbor's house, and sometimes it's a house completely across town. There's been more than a few times that I've had to argue with UPS that no, in fact, my order has not yet been delivered. And if you're saying it has been delivered, then you must have delivered it to the wrong house. Having a video doorbell will at least allow me to assure them that it never arrived and that nobody ever stole it because it was never there, and I have no recordings of anybody approaching my door and taking a package. That said, I don't think I'll ever be able to convince them that their temporary drivers are bad and should feel bad, but at least I won't have to question my own sanity on whether or not I actually got my package. I mean, maybe I did already receive my Nissan Versa note and just forgot about it. Nope, that's definitely not my house. So how well does it work? Well, as I said with the situation at my house, it's more stable of a connection when I use the wire. It might be different at your place, but anyway, keep that in mind when you're watching this footage, because it was all actually recorded using the Wi-Fi. One thing I learned reviewing this footage is that I order way too much Postmates. We also get a ton of packages. I got lots of footage of UPS guys dropping off packages and walking away. There's some more DoorDash this time. There's a FedEx guy dropping off a package. As you can see, the video is really clear. More food delivery. This is just getting embarrassing now. But it definitely works for seeing the arrival of UPS packages, and that was my real goal. More packages. I mean, the pandemic got us used to ordering instead of going outside. Even at nighttime, the footage is pretty clear. This one has the porch light on, but this time the light was actually off. More packages. Oh boy, that's a lot of packages. And I just like how this guy does a little dance to the chime. So let's talk pros and cons. First, no monthly storage fees if you don't want them. You can subscribe to the Nooie cloud service if that's your thing, but you absolutely do not have to, which is really nice. 2, super clear video footage recorded even at night, which is really, really nice. 3, it was easy to set up and install. You just kind of follow the instructions on the app and things just kind of work. There's really no issues with that process. 4, you're able to go back and watch previously recorded videos on your phone. And 5, of course, you can communicate with the person outside of your door ringing your doorbell.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
How can I help you?
Hey, we're actually able to have kind of a conversation. It seems like you might actually be home.
I'm not home.
And of course, it's basically a motion-activated security camera right outside of your front door, which is nice. Did you know that most burglars will actually ring the front door before they rob your house just to make sure nobody's home? It's true. At least I think it is. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. And it has an alarm, so if someone tries to steal your doorbell, it alerts you and annoys the crap out of them. The only cons I can think of is that with my wife's iPhone, she doesn't seem to have the ability to go back and watch previous recordings. It might be something that I set up incorrectly, but basically the option just isn't there. She can see a live feed of anybody who's at the door, but she can't go back and watch things that happened earlier in the week. There also seems to be about a 10 to 15 second delay between when somebody rings the doorbell and when she's able to actually respond to them. And it's worse if she's away from home. So while the two-way communication is pretty great when using the app on my Google Pixel,
Let's test on your phone now.
Okay, bye.
it's incredibly delayed and choppy on her iPhone.
Hello. How are you?
I don't have those problems on my phone. Again, I don't know if it's something I set up incorrectly. Like maybe my phone has priority because I set the whole system up on my phone. I'm not sure. I get alerted right away when somebody rings the doorbell. Two-way communication is pretty quick on my phone. It's just on her iPhone, it has a problem. It's also physically larger than the Google Nest, though I don't know if that matters to you. It certainly doesn't make any difference to me. So if you're in the market for a video doorbell and you have an Android phone, I would highly recommend the Nooie Doorbell Cam. The fact that it doesn't have subscription fees, like it's not required to pay a subscription fee in order to access your recordings, is a huge benefit in my opinion. I don't like the idea of relying on the internet for anything, simply because I would hate for somebody to break into my house and me not have a recording because the internet went down, or the burglar was smart enough to cut my internet line before they decided to go in. If you're interested in this doorbell, there is a link in the description below. This is not an affiliate link. If you buy one, I do not earn a penny. I'm just being thorough. There's no point in me doing a review and being like, hey, this product's pretty good, and then you're not being able to find it, right? So again, not sponsored, just it's there if you want it. Anyway, what did you guys think? Do you have a video doorbell at your house? How does it stack up against the Nooie? Is there things you like about the Nooie that your doorbell doesn't do, or vice versa? Let me know down below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, keep being awesome. And I think my wife will probably enjoy using this on her channel. Speaking of the Awesomist, as I said earlier, she just started a YouTube channel and she hasn't posted a video yet, but I'll be sure to let you guys know when she does. I've been coming up with ideas for her all day long. I'm really excited for her. She's a fantastic woman who you guys are all going to love watching. She's really funny and smart.